Today we're going to do about a 3-minute little regime that will help mobilize your joints, increase fluid flow through your body, and just help everything feel and perform better. So we're going to lie down on your back. You're going to cross one ankle over the other. You can keep your arms by your side or open them out to the side a little bit. And you're just going to take your feet side to side. I call this the foot flop, where you're literally just taking your legs like windshield wipers from one side to the other. You want to do 8 to 10 repetitions of that total, and then you come back and you can cross your ankles the other way. And so here the focus is just really getting a little bit of length and space from the hip down the side of your thigh. Remember, anything we do, we want a pain-free range of motion. And even if it feels challenging, we want it to feel good. And then come back to center. Bend your knees, bring your ankles and your knees together. Keep them squeezed together, and you're just going to take them from one side to the other. Now, I never like to move too quickly because we notice more when we move slower. We give the tissue time to adapt to the movement. And we also are more aware of how the body is experiencing the movement. So if you need to make any adjustments in range of motion, you have that opportunity to do so. So again, 8 to 10 times each side. Now you're going to step your feet wide. And this time you want to think about the inside of the knee and the outside of the other knee going down to the floor and come back to center. And just find your own flow of breath. Typically, we inhale on expansion. So as you reach the knee to the floor, take a big breath in and exhale. If you feel like you want to breathe in the opposite, that's fine. We use breath as a rule, or a tool, not a rule. And then we'll go one more time. So there's your 8 to 10 times total. And then you come back to center. Good. So now we're going to roll onto our front, and we're just going to plant the toes down, come onto a quadruped, and we just want to sit back, stretching between our rib cage and our pelvis, mobilizing spine and ribs. Easy breath in and exhale. Good. So rocking forward and back. So here we're getting into your wrists, your shoulders, your hips and knees. So remember, movement happens in our joints, and so we want to be able to have mobility in all of our joints, and the stability is really in our masses or our bones, which is our pelvis and our shoulder girdle. And then down. Good. So then we're going to come right down onto your tummy. You're going to take your legs apart, point your toes in, bring your hands right under your shoulders, draw the shoulders down, and then draw your belly to spine, press your pubic bone into the mat. Now we want to watch for shoulder tension, so really challenge yourself to keep your collarbone wide, back strong, and you're going to take a breath in right here, and then push up, extend back as it feels good, let the air out, and then lower yourself down. Now it's important with extension, take a breath in, come up, exhale, and then come down. So find a range of motion that feels good to you. So pushing just to here is where you're strain free, or to here, then that's where you're going to go. If it doesn't feel good to come all the way up, then you modify the range of motion. So really important that you take responsibility for how your body feels when you move, and you modify or adapt as needed. Notice I'm moving slowly, right? I'm not trying to push up quickly. I want to be in the experience of the full range of motion. Good, and one more time. Coming up and going down. So we're going to hook the toes, we're going to push with the arms and sit back. Then you're going to take your right arm and thread it under the left side, reaching the shoulder under, and then you come up and look, and reach and rotate under, come up and look, and then the other side. You can do more repetitions of this. I'm just giving you an idea of a nice little flowing routine that you can incorporate. And then back and one more stretch. Good to have the toes curled, so now we're stretching through the toes and the feet. But if that feels uncomfortable, just place the top of the feet down and sit. Good. All right, so now we're going to sit in this semi-mermaid stance, like so. And we're going to be taking the legs up and over. So what we're getting here is the hip joints going from internal rotation, external rotation, and then the other side. Now, if you need your hands to assist, you move around a little bit on this one, and just use your hands here so that you can support yourself through the movement. If this feels smooth for you, you want to add a little more core challenge, then you can bring your arms up, holding your back tall. Good. That's it. And we'll do one more each side, finding your breath. Inhale. And exhale. Good. So you might have walked yourself off your mat there. Bring yourself back. And then we're going to bring ourselves onto our feet. Now, I know that some have issues with their knees and feet in this position. If you do, and you have a solid piece that you can hang on to, so that maybe it's a ladder, I'll just come over here, you can still see me, and I sit back, or I can grab my suspension straps. So the suspension straps can support me so I don't go down as deep, or when I sit down as deep, I don't have the same load. So again, you want to be looking and thinking for yourself, especially when you're doing these things online, where you need to adapt. So here I am, I've got my hands just braced on the inside of my thighs and knees, and then I want to use that to lift my chest and activate my back. Good, and you're just going to rock side to side, getting some mobility in your hips, knees, and ankles. This is a rest posture in yoga, and it's very good for relaxing your pelvic floor, for getting blood flow into your hips, your knees, and your ankles, and come back to center. Now, your option is just to stay with this and just do a little bit of rotation. We want to get the elbow pressing into the thigh. You want to think really about lifting your chest. If this feels good, you can also take your arm up. Now, if you find that you're struggling with your breath, or the other stretch was just plenty, thank you, then leave this one out. But if you can't get that lift, this is one of the ones I love doing before I go for a run, because I'm really getting into not just my lower body, but activation of the back and the core, and rotation of my thoracic spine is really important for walking and running. So we'll do one more time. Big reach, inhale, and exhale. Good. And then you can just come back to your seat. We're now going to lie down on your back. Arms are long by your side. Bring your heels close to your seat so your feet are planted. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you want to tuck, squeeze, and roll. So you want to feel that your big toe is pressing down into the mat. Narrow your knee angle. Check that your ribs are soft, chest is open, and the idea is that you're lifting from lower glutes, upper hamstring. Take a breath in and exhale to roll down. Again, inhale, exhale to roll up, reaching your knees over your toes. Think hip extension, thighs and knees lengthening over the toes, and then gently to roll down. So now we're focusing on activation of the glutes, which is really important for joint and hip health, but also segmental movement through your spine. So getting this beautiful flow of energy and movement through our back. Good, and we'll do one more time. Doesn't mean that you have to stop here. You can keep going, because this is just a wonderful movement, something new to feel in your body every time, and bring it all the way down. Roll onto your side and bring yourself up. So, you know, ultimately for just healthy joints, healthy blood flow, circulation, and connection through your body, it doesn't take a lot. So a little bit can go a long way. What matters is the consistency. So every day, throughout the day, what are you doing to move your body? Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just send me a message and I'd be happy to help you out.